Hello and welcome to another episode of The Accidental Trainer. I'm your host, Lisa Spinelli, and with me here I have Crystal Kadakia. She's the CEO of LCD Group and an organization development consultant. Thank you so much for joining us, Crystal.
Thanks for having me, Lisa.
It's so great to see you, especially after Org Dev. I hope you had a lot of fun at the conference.
Yeah, it was a great conference. It's great to see so many people joining to really learn about a field that not that many people still know a ton about. So it's very cool to see folks involved and engaged.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask you about something that I saw you had spoken about at a different conference, and it really caught my eye, and I was really excited to listen to your video clip that you posted. It was about the notion of impossible possibilities. So can you talk a little bit about that and why that's so important today?
Yeah, sure. So something that I've been thinking a lot about is how we set goals and for ourselves and how often we will set goals that we know we can achieve. And that's great. It gives you that sense of confidence, but it doesn't necessarily get you exactly where you really want to go or make you feel necessarily inspired to reach it. So something I've been thinking a lot about, just in my life and for others that I've seen is this notion of impossible possibilities. And an impossible possibility is something that's possible. You might not think it's possible, but I guarantee you, as you talk to people and you explore, there pretty much anything is possible today.
Right.
So setting that possibility for you that you really wish you could have, that would make a big difference. And it's something that you could achieve. It's just you having to widen your lens on it. And I think one of the reasons why this is so important today is because a lot of people were very limited by all of the things we can't do. And we spend a lot of our time thinking about what we can't do versus what we can do. And that is really very kind of positive thinking. Well, what can I do right now? But when you're really getting to that notion of impossible possibilities, you're actually exploring what can you do now that you couldn't do before. So you're giving yourself even greater departure from an older reality that you might not want. And so just kind of bringing this all to our context today, obviously a lot has changed and we've been all trying to figure out this new normal. And for a lot of us, that just means going back to trying really hard to go back to the old normal, even though that's actually really not possible.
Right.
So it might feel like an impossible possibility to actually navigate this new normal in a new way. So I think it's really important for people to think about what's something possible that really inspires you, that you actually want to try out that you might not have done before.
Yeah, I think, you hit the nail on the head with that one, because right now I know a lot of people are really, just trying to make ends meet and things like that. But the people that have been fortunate enough to kind of keep their roles, now they're really kind of stretching and being able to take on different things that maybe they thought were never possible before. And it's such a great inspiration.
I think also like a great example of that is, my colleague and I launched a book last year, and we thought that we were going to be able to do all of these physical speaking engagements around the book. And then of course, COVID hit. And, we could have spent a lot of our time trying to do what we might have always done or feeling down about it. But instead, we really started thinking about, okay, well, now a lot more people's eyes are going to be online than before. And this book, which is about the training industry, it's needed even more than before. So how can we do maybe something new? What's a new possibility in this situation? And so, one thing that's been really cool is we have been doing a lot of virtual events about this book. It's called Designing for Modern Learning.
Mm-hmm.
But in those virtual events, there are often ATD chapter meetings or different local groups, but those local groups have now expanded their audience to open to anyone. So we've actually been able to reach a lot more people because audiences are not as limited locally, and nor do we have the travel time taking up our capacity. So
Right.
it's been really interesting to see wow, well, that's something that we might have thought was impossible. We weren't even thinking about doing more of like a virtual book tour. But that's what actually ended up happening because we looked for what was possible in it.
That's great. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Join us on June 30th for Crystal Kadakia's episode on The Accidental Trainer, wherever you get your podcasts.